There is the results of yesterday's draft, the most disrespected figures in the NFL. Rodney was chiming in via text message with some of our picks from yesterday. Rodney's with us today. Rodney Harrison, Chris Sims, Mike Florio wrapping up this Thursday edition of PFT Live. Rodney, your thoughts generally. What names stand out to you on the most disrespected figures in the NFL?
What can I say? Chris Sims beat you again. It's number one. It has to be Dak Prescott. I mean, this guy's a top 10 quarterback in the league, and what he's done the last 4 years and what he's been able to accomplish and his, the prospect of how good he can be. And you still don't want to pay this guy. He's proven that he's a franchise quarterback, Mike, and that I do believe that Dak could take him to a Super Bowl, far in the playoffs, and you still don't want to pay this guy. This is the most disrespected guy in the league. I would say Kirk Cousins is number two, but Dak Prescott definitely number one, Chris.
Okay, good. Well, he gave you a little credit there, Mike. He said I won the draft, but he's giving you your Kirk Cousins pick there. That was good. I mean, it's funny when you pick a guy that, yes, he's disrespected, but the guy picking him's the one that's disrespecting him more than anybody. So I always love that.
I wouldn't say that.
But let me just say this, guys. Eric Bieniemy was a teammate of mine when I was, I think I was a rookie in 1994. And I just tell you, the personality, he cares about every individual in that locker room. He brings energy every single day at practice. He's a smart man, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be a head coach in the National Football League. Eric Bieniemy is that guy.
But do you look at
I feel like
I'm sorry, Mike. Go
ahead, Chris.
I mean, I'm with you. The Eric Bieniemy thing, obviously, it bothers me. It really does, because we saw two offensive coordinators before him get head coaching jobs. Another name that I thought about, and I had some people push back against it, like Carson Wentz. Do you look at him as being a disrespected player? Because I do. All everybody ever brings up is Nick Foles is better. Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, and I just think that's not a good argument, honestly.
Yeah, Carson Wentz was a guy that I was really thinking about. And, unfortunately, he got injured and he had some injuries, some up and down. But this guy can play what he did last year, the toughness, playing with a makeshift talent, guys that we never even heard of. This is a guy that a lot of people disrespect, don't really show the respect that he deserves. And I think he's a tremendous football player. And I think he's going to continue to get better as they continue to develop talent around him.
And one thing I respect about Carson Wentz, last year there was a story that was published about how, Wentz maybe doesn't click with his teammates and there's some things that they didn't like. And instead of shouting it down, he said, there are things I'm trying to improve on. And I think last year we saw the best version of Carson Wentz. We saw him stay healthy and effective with a bunch of guys around him that we didn't even know who the hell they were late in the year, and they got to the playoffs. So I agree with you. I think that, Wentz, I think what happens is when a guy makes a huge splash early in his career and then doesn't live up to it, we start dumping on him even more. I mean, it looked like Wentz was going to take the league by storm before he tore the ACL against the Rams in 2017. And he's been fighting to get back to that level ever since. And I think people are more critical of him because we've seen how great he can be, and he's still not back to that point, Rodney.
Yeah, I guess it's all part of it. When you have success early in your career, then all of a sudden the expectations go through the roof, and people expect certain things, and then all of a sudden they're able to win a Super Bowl without you. Personally, you take that personal, and you say, "Man, this team is better without me," and then you start to question your skills and things like that. But I think just his work ethic, everything that he brings, the toughness, the humility, I think he has a lot of respect from his teammates.
We got 1 minute left, but we never talk about defensive players when we talk about disrespected players. It always jumps out to me. And one of the guys I thought about, and I know you're all over defensive football, and you got players that, most people wouldn't know and you love or whatever. Jadeveon Clowney. I even thought of Devin McCourty up in New England. He's one of the better safeties of our generation. Nobody ever talks about him. Anybody on the defensive side that you feel like never gets credit or disrespected a lot?
I think Clowney could be that guy because we have a league where pass rushers are definitely at a premium. You see the type of contracts they're getting. And for a guy with that level of talent, for him not to be able to get an opportunity, man, it's just still puzzling to me that he hasn't signed a long-term contract.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.